Once upon a time, there was a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella who lived with her wicked stepmother and two vain stepsisters. Despite her hard work and mistreatment, Cinderella remained sweet and generous. Every day, she was forced to do all the chores and was treated like a servant in her own home. While her stepsisters enjoyed themselves and dressed in fine clothes, Cinderella was left in rags. One day, an invitation arrived from the royal palace. The king was hosting a grand ball, and everyone was invited to meet the prince. Cinderella's stepsisters were ecstatic, but they mocked Cinderella and told her she could never attend. As the day of the ball approached, Cinderella's heart ached with longing. But with no hope of joining the festivities, she helped her stepsisters prepare and went about her chores with a heavy heart. When the night of the ball arrived, the stepsisters left, leaving Cinderella alone. As she sat by the hearth, weeping, a magical transformation took place. Her fairy godmother appeared with a wave of her wand.
"Don't worry, my dear. You shall go to the ball."
With a flick of her wand, the fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's rags into a stunning gown and her worn shoes into delicate glass slippers. A pumpkin was turned into a golden carriage, and mice became horses. However, there was one condition. She must return before midnight, when the magic would wear off. Cinderella arrived at the ball, and all eyes were on her. The prince was captivated by her beauty and grace. They danced together all evening, lost in each other's company. But as the clock began to strike midnight, Cinderella hurriedly fled the palace. In her haste, she lost one of her glass slippers on the steps. The prince, determined to find the mysterious girl he had danced with, sent his servants throughout the kingdom with the glass slipper. When they arrived at Cinderella's home, the stepsisters tried on the slipper, but it did not fit. When the slipper was finally brought to Cinderella, it fit perfectly. The prince was overjoyed and took Cinderella to the palace, where they were married in a grand ceremony. Cinderella's stepsisters, realizing their mistake, begged for forgiveness. Cinderella, with her kind heart, forgave them, and they lived in harmony from that day on. And so, Cinderella's kindness and grace were rewarded with a life of happiness and love. She and the prince lived happily ever after, and her story became a beloved tale of hope and magic. And that, dear listeners, is the enchanting story of Cinderella, a tale of transformation, love, and the magic that lies in kindness.